Welcome to Pluralsight. You are watching the module Troubleshooting and Upgrades. So now we're getting toward the end of the course, and let's talk a little bit about troubleshooting and how to upgrade the XMCLI software. So troubleshooting is actually, like a lot of things here, pretty simple. There's not a lot to do. In fact, as of the 2.3 code, there isn't even a troubleshooting guide out from EMC. And really, I think the reasons are it's such a simple architecture. I'm not going to tell you that you'll never have to troubleshoot anything, but the ways to do it and the means, there's just not a lot of things that you need to worry about. The primary things are cluster communications and host connectivity issues. So those are the ones that are going to bite you. And usually those are things like cabling problems or port issues or configuration issues in the case of host connectivity. So I will walk you through some of the things that you can look at on the command line. The UI, as we saw in the earlier lessons, are very straightforward. If there's a problem, something in the hardware view of the UI is going to flash red or orange, and you can just kind of drill down from there. But I want you to kind of get comfortable with this CLI in case you need to jump on with EMC support or somebody to kind of dig through a few things. There, you can view a ton of information with the CLI. Here's one cool thing I do like. With the current versions of the user guides, I don't think I saw this in the earlier ones, I may be mistaken, but I know as of the current ones, when they walk you through how to do something via the UI, they also tell you how to do it via the command line. I think that's pretty cool. I'm a command line person. I use the XMS UI all the time, but I do like to pull information using the command line as well, and it will let you walk you through doing that. You can also install the CLI on a Linux box. So when we go to the lab, I'll just SSH into the XMS, but you can install a package that gives you the CLI on a Linux box. I think it's spec'd for CentOS, which means it probably should work fine on Red Hat, and I know it uses Python and one or two other packages. But that is an option in case the XMS for some reason is restricted. But you will actually, or honestly, still need access to the XMS because it's going to pull data back from it. But it does allow you to do it locally without having to SSH in if you want to do that. Worst case, if you do have a problem with the XMS itself, you can just reinstall it. So that's the one everybody asks me. What if I delete my XMS virtual machine? What if I have a problem? What if something goes nuts? Well, you just throw another one out there. I've done this in the lab. I've done it for demos for customers, things like that. That's the cool thing about the XMS. It is not the configuration kind of manager. Well, I guess it is the manager, but it's not kind of like the repository of all things. It is just showing stuff to you. So if you deploy another one, it'll just pull data back off the existing cluster, show that to you again, and you're good to go. And as we've talked about, if you do destroy the XMS or it crashes or it's down, the host access doesn't stop. You just can't make changes to the cluster until you redeploy one. So we're going to jump into the first lab where we look at the XMS command line interface. Pretty simple. I do like the fact how in-depth it is. You can tell that EMC is moving toward automation and orchestration very heavily with these new products. You'll see REST API interfaces and things like that coming for XMCLI, but it already has a very robust command line interface. It's much easier to use than I think any of their previous products. So with that, let's go ahead and jump on over and take a look.